Hi Leo, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol. And Leo, this is going to be a general reading for you for the month of June 2025. And in today's reading, I'm going to be doing a spread called Moving Beyond Illusion. And the dragonfly, this one in particular, is a picture that was sent to me from my daughter a while back. And I thought it was fake. You know, just the neon green color and the bright pearly eyes. And so, you know, I didn't believe that it was real. So I told her to touch it, and her reaction was, ew, no. And it just started, you know, making me think, you know, what's the dragonfly represent for me? Like, why was she sending this to me? And so I realized it was something to do with an illusion, you know, thinking something is fake, but it's real. Or it could be the opposite, you know, thinking something is real, but it's actually fake. And so I thought, you know, what false idea or belief do I have about myself that I need to become aware of? And I think this is why the dragonfly was showing up in my life, and of course for my daughter. And I think the reason she showed it to me was because she knew I was, you know, one of these people that were into spirit animals, totem animals. So yeah, and that's what we're going to look at for you, Leo, is that we're going to look at that false belief, or the belief about yourself that's just not true. And it could be something you've been, you know, holding on to all your life. And you may know what it is, but I'm going to be bringing awareness to it. And then we're going to look at what shadow aspect is driving or impacting this illusion, because it's something that's buried in your shadow. It's buried in your unconscious, and our unconscious is that part of us that we've put all those things away that we don't like about ourselves. You know, it could have been something that we were shamed for. Our gifts are buried in our unconscious, in our shadow, underneath our trauma, our memories, our big emotions, and all of these things we don't like about ourselves. So we're going to look at where that comes from, because that's what needs to heal. And so once we've determined that, we're going to look at I'm going to ask the tarot how you can begin to heal this. I'm not going to leave you hanging with, okay, here's the illusion you have. This is what needs healing. But the tarot will provide you with something that is going to say, okay, this is where you can start in order for you to move beyond this illusion that you have of yourself. And then I'll also offer you some videos that I've done on my other channel called Carol Cares that will help you with what the tarot is suggesting for you. All right, so today's reading, we're going to be using the Deviant Moon Tarot, very much an imaginative deck, and I thought this was great for with the whole theme of illusions. I'm going to clarify it with the Radiant Rider-Waite, and then I'm going to, I'll be picking an oracle card for you from the Return of the Spirit, which is a new oracle deck that I've acquired. It's not that new. But it's something that I thought, oh, I like some of the themes in there. So it's been working out really well. So let's begin with asking tarot right now for you, what false idea or belief do you have about yourself that you need to become aware of? So one card for Leo for a false belief, an illusion that they have about themselves. Okay, you have the Four of Wands in reverse. And next card is what shadow aspect is driving or impacting this illusion. One card for that, please. Looks like this deck wants to speak to me today. I'm going to start wanting to jump out a bit. One card. The shadow aspect. Here we go. So you have the Four of Swords in reverse. So two fours on the table. And how can Leo begin to heal the shadow aspect so that they can move beyond this illusion? One card for that. One card for Leo. How can they begin to heal it? There it is. You have the Moon card in reverse. I'm going to say just from these three cards, I'm looking at like you have two fours in reverse, and then you have the Moon card. And it just looks like you're trying to get a solid ground is what I'm feeling here. Feeling a bit unstable. And yeah, so maybe something that you're definitely wanting to do, but needing a bit of tarot advice for sure. Okay, so let's tell me some more about the Four of Wands here. It's in reverse. Couple cards, please. Okay, you have a Star card, and that was sort of sideways here, and then you also have the Four Swords, that's sideways. Interesting that the second time that the Four Swords is showing up now. You have it right here, and then now it's showing up right as a clarifier. Now here's the Four Swords. Can you give me a couple cards for the Four Swords here? And this is your shadow. This is having the most impact on everything in your life. It always does. All the cycles, all the patterns that's going on, it all comes from the shadow, comes from our unconscious. It's what we're not aware of. And we need to become aware of, because that's what needs healing. Those cards came out beautifully for me. So you have the Six of Pentacles and the King of Cups in reverse. The Moon card, couple cards. I'm sure. So, oh, there's one. And one more. There we go. Okay. So, Four Pentacles. And you have the Fool card sideways. Love that for you. I like when the Fool comes out. Just kind of suggests for me that it's time to move. And I can see here, it's like you're stuck. Actually, you're unstable a bit here, kind of. So I'm going to pull the Return of the Spirit card. And this is the Oracle card, and I won't read it until the end, all right? So it'll be a little bit of a surprise, and pretty good at kind of tying things up, giving me a... This kind of tells me, actually, as a reader, that, yeah, you're on the right track here. One card, please, for Leo. It does take a bit to get out, but there we go. Okay, we'll read that at the end. Okay, what false idea do you have or belief that you have about yourself? Well, we start off with, like I said, the Four of Wands in reverse, and this is an interesting. It just looks like these two creatures right here have just come out of that spaceship, or it looks like, you know, there's a spaceship there waiting for them to take them away, right? You can see if I come up a little bit closer here, and there's this kind of like a, I don't know, a webbed ladder for them to climb up on. And the Four of Wands, number 4 is a real stable card. It's a solid card, and it you know, it's what's holding up this spaceship, I'm going to call it. And so Wands, the number 4 is stable, and it's meant to be solid, and it holds us up. And the Wands in particular, the Wand suit is about our creative purpose. It's about putting ourselves first, going in the direction towards our true authentic self. And I think for the Four of Wands, it means that you've stepped out. You know, the 2 and the 3 is preparation for something that you want to do, getting a plan to do it, getting a nudge, saying, okay, I'm going to do this. And I almost think that you were either ready to do something, like, I mean, this close, or you've done it and you've kind of stepped back, and it's just like something's happened here where you're just not feeling confident enough. There's some real maybe fear that's kicked in. There's a real resistance to stepping out now. I mean, you were so close, or you are so close to stepping out. And sometimes, you know, I can see sometimes the Four of Wands as being sort of a, can insinuate sometimes maybe being in a real controlling environment. And that could be, you know, the control that we set up for our own self, or it could be someone else around us that is just kind of, we're not feeling comfortable enough to do something or continue on what we were doing. And that's what's going on here. And so I see here, like I had said, that you kind of felt stuck. And that's kind of the impression I'm getting, where it's like, okay, now what? You know, I was so close, or I'm so close, but then I can't do this. And so now what do? Well, the way that we get around this, before you even get into your reading, is it's suggesting here that there's some healing that needs to be done around this before you can take this card and turn it over again. So there's some, you've kind of, and this happens a lot of times when we do something for ourselves, or we go into a new direction, a new creative, towards our true purpose, towards what we really want to do for ourselves. And when we come up against a wall, we lose that confidence, or we get scared, or we feel this resistance, and we can't figure out what it is. It's because there's something that's coming up here for you to heal. And it's sideways here, because maybe it's like you could be in denial about it. It could be, like I said, could be some fear here. But you notice how this angel in the star card is just dipping their toe in, right? They're just kind of, they're touching. The water has everything to do with emotions in my cards. And they're just kind of touching it, you know. And maybe you're on the edge here. Maybe you realize that there's something here that, oh, there's something coming up here. What is this that I need to look at? And, you know, the Four of Swords is coming out, and it's saying, you know, there's some healing that needs to be done around this. And you need to take some time. You need to carve out some time for yourself. And this is, again, sideways, because sometimes when we know that there's healing coming up, or there's something, we feel that we're really stirring, we're stuck, we're blocked, we will oftentimes, you know, distract ourselves and keep ourselves busy. And the last thing we do is to get still. And this card is very much a card of, it's time to get still. It's time to get still so you can heal this, so you can feel what's going on. So let's go over here and look at the unconscious and your shadow. What's going on here? Like, the reason why this is coming up is because there's something coming up from your shadow for healing. And it's preventing you from continuing to, you know, go back into that spaceship, and it's calling, or it's preventing you from going through, continuing where you were going, and getting over this hump that you right now are facing. And so you have the Four of Swords here as your first card that's coming out, and it's in reverse here. And it's, again, like I said, it's that card of, you know, this person taking time out, carving time out for themselves and getting still. But it's in your shadow, and it's in reverse. I'm going to say that I think you're used to, Leo, a childhood where there was no chance for you to get still. I think it was very chaotic, because if you couldn't have a moment to take time out for you, it's just like, it's that quiet time, you know. Sometimes when I see kids out playing, or, you know, sometimes they can spend hours on the smallest little thing. And that's what they need to do, like just to be present in their own body, to be grounded. But I don't think you took time, you were allowed to take time out for you. And that, this next card tells me a lot. This is the Six of Pentacles. And the Six of Pentacles speaks of this rich man who is doling out coins to these beggars. And, you know, the beggars are the ones that decide what they're worth. If I'm worth 3 coins, if I think I'm worth 3 coins, I'm going to ask for 3 coins. He's going to weigh out 3 coins for me. The other beggar says, well, I'm just worth 2. And so he'll weigh out 2 coins. Number 6 in my deck is a card of duality. It kind of, it on one hand, it shows you something, but there's something else going on here. And the 6 of Pentacles for me talks about this whole idea of giving and receiving. If you feel like, so much like if you're someone that gives a lot, you don't know how to receive, or someone that receives takes a lot, you don't know how to give. And so there's this reciprocity in giving and receiving, and that's all tied up in your self-worth. This is very much a card of self-worth. And so I'm understanding here that when you were younger, there was definitely not time for you to ever feel, to get still, to feel like, you mattered. You really felt like you didn't matter. You were in an environment where you did not matter. And I think that's what's coming up here, is that, here is the King card that's coming up. And the King in my deck is a masculine part of us. It's the ego. It's our ego self. And the King in particular, our ego is very much a part of us that doesn't like emotions, especially the King of Cups, right? It's petrified of emotions. It doesn't even want to go near them. And I think you knew when you were younger that, you weren't able to use your emotions, for sure. I mean, you didn't matter. I think you got that impression when you were younger in your chaotic environment that you were raised in, that you didn't matter. I mean, if you're lost in the shuffle of all this chaos, you really do feel like you don't matter, and your emotions won't matter at all. And your ego self, when you're younger, is a protector part of us, and it'll come in and it'll really shut down. Actually, what it does is it'll shut down those emotions by pulling you up in your head, taking you out of your body so that you don't feel those emotions, because our emotions are in our body. And so I think what's happening here is, I did talk about maybe, you're distracted a lot, you're keeping busy a lot. And that's what your ego self will want you to do, because you have been trained since you were younger to keep distracted, to keep busy. Don't carve out any time for yourself, because that's dangerous. That's dangerous, because as a child, it was dangerous for you to take out your emotions because nobody was there to care. And I think that's where you are right now. You have come up to this wall where, there's something definitely where you want to do something for yourself. Maybe, like I said, you've stepped out, or you're just so close to doing something, and you've come up this wall with all these emotions stirring inside of you. And the last thing that you want to do is to get still. So you're keeping yourself busy. And this is where that's coming from. So that part of you needs healing. And you have to realize that you have your ego self out. That's keeping you up in your head, keeping you busy, not allowing you to get back in your body. So let's look at what guidance from the tarot. Where do you begin to heal this? Well, the first thing that's going on here is you have the Moon in reverse. And the Moon card is, I just love this card where it has the moon and it's actually controlling these puppets, right? The moon comes out and it controls. It's like it controls all these figures. These weird things happen. And the Moon card is something that is, talks about when the moon comes out, there's a lot of weird things that happen. There's a lot of things that are hidden that come out. And the Moon card talks about what's hidden to us. And everybody has access to this card. This is our intuition. This is our inner guidance. And it really is hidden from all of us. But we all have it. It's a beautiful feminine quality. It doesn't have anything to do with your gender. There's just a feminine quality here. It's called intuition. And it's our own inner guidance. And the universe is saying, it's time for you to get in touch with your own inner guidance as to what to do about this situation that you're sitting in. And what does that mean? Like, I think there's a part of us that want people to tell us what to do, that want to get the answers from people. We might go online, we might go on Reddit, we're going to try to find some kind of answer for ourselves. But this is, you have the answer inside of you. It's your intuition, it's your own inner guidance. But here's the thing about intuition. It's we have to be in our body to access our intuition. Our intuition doesn't come from up here. People can go around and call themselves intuitive. But if you're running things, if you're trying to control everything from your mind, that's your ego. Our ego can sometimes fool us into thinking that it's the intuition. But our intuition is here. It comes from the body. But we have to be grounded. We have to get into the body. And right now, you're not in your body. I can see here that your ego self is running the show here. And so there's a real call here, Leo, for you to get in your body so you can get in touch with your inner guidance. Four of Pentacles comes up next, and the Four of Pentacles talks about this individual. It's called the Miser card. He's holding on to all of these pentacles, and the pentacles is about the earth element. It's about being grounded. The pentacle itself is our body. And look what he's doing with these pentacles. He is putting them, like covering up all his major chakra areas, right? All these energy fields that he has in his body. It's like he's holding on to all these things, but he's blocking all of his energy fields. It's like often this is an individual that holds on to all his material goods, these attachment issues, just kind of trying to live a really safe life. And there's almost like a real need for you to get back in your body, get in touch with your intuition so that you can start to let go of this hold that your ego self has on you right now. And then you have the Fool card coming next. And I love the Fool card for you. It's sideways right now because this could go in either direction for you. I'm seeing it as turning up right here. Because the Fool card is like this card where you take the chance. You go off that cliff and you trust. You trust that the universe is going to have your back. This is about trusting. Right now you're holding on. I'm going to say you might be holding on to a lot of fear, right? Then that's common. That's common when we have all this resistance. We're holding on to a lot of fear. There's something, maybe the block that you have is fear. And so once you get back in your body, get in touch with your own inner guidance as to what you need to do next, it's going to come clear and you're going to be able to take that next step. You're going to be able to do it. You're going to be able to jump off that cliff, right? And trust that it's all going to be okay. And let's look at what the last card for you right now. I think what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to leave you with, I think you need a playlist on grounding. I think you need to learn how to get back in your body. Know what it means to feel, to get still and to get back in your body. You have a card called Birthing for your last card, your Oracle card. So let's take a look at Birthing. When we are in the process of creating something new in our life, we are actually calling on our divine force and mastering our gift as creators to bring something new into this world. Trust yourself in all that you are doing at this moment. Your instinct and intuition will guide you. It's exactly what the tarot said. The goals, projects, or ideas you are working on are important in the cosmic plan. There are many higher energies working with you and through you to help you complete what you are working toward. Remember, though, the process of giving birth involves going through labor. You may be feeling a lot of pressure at the moment, but discomfort during labor is natural. Don't give in or lose hope because of it. You are doing the right thing. Don't let small disappointments or upsets lead you to thinking that you are not on the right track. You are. The birthing card also comes to those who are symbolically giving birth to the higher aspects of themselves. Usually, this period involves its own set of growing pains as you learn to move out of old ways of being and outdated limiting beliefs Trust that the challenges you are facing at this time are essential to the process. Stay strong. You are nearly there. Leo, I want you to have compassion for yourself for what you're working through. This is the most difficult journey of your life, the healing journey, but it's the most important one. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.